What's going on, everybody? Today I want to talk about the Necromancer, and let's just get this straight. I hate this class. So far, I have not enjoyed my general gaming experience with the Necromancer. I made a video talking about what classes we'd want to swap to. Kyer Mobile and I did a collaboration about 3 weeks ago. And I said I did not want to play the Necro, and the main reason was that it's very immobile. You're kind of forced into some of these really top tier builds that generally don't do a crazy amount of damage. Your PvE damage is really good, but your mobility is non-existent. And you know what? That's exactly what happens. They have a really high quality build, and they're a very strong class, but they are some of the most slow and honestly unfun classes, in my opinion, so far. And a lot of people thought I was memeing, you know, like, oh, I hate the Necro, and then I'm going to be able to play the Necro, and then I'm going to have to be able to play the best class in the game. No, it's just I'm not a huge fan of the Necro. And the reason being mainly is because I am so missing teleport and horse. To give you an idea here, a couple of things that I kind of enjoy about the Necromancer so far, and then I really hate about the Necromancer overall is, for one, I actually have 4 abilities. For those of you that have been watching the channel for a little while, you'll note that I started as Crusader, and on Crusader, 90% of the time you're going to be running Draw and Quarter, and so you have 3 ability slots to be running, and then even then, your other ability is probably going to be Banner 90% of the time, and so you really have 2 ability slots to work with, which gave you, yes, a lot of variety in terms of builds you could run. However, not in terms of skills you could run. And so that's a huge change. And then I went to Wizard, which wasn't all that different because I literally ran teleport in every single one of my builds. No matter what I was doing, I always had teleport on my bar, whether it was, you know, jumping to West March and jumping through the identifier and then jumping to the blacksmith, or whether it was doing dungeon runs, doing open world farming, you ship farm it here and teleporting over this edge so that I could just ignore the stairs altogether. Absolutely all the time I was running teleport, which means I had 3 skill slots to work with. And then oftentimes, of course, those had standard skills that I'd be using, like Disintegrate, which oftentimes was on my bar. And so I oftentimes had 2 to 3 skill slots to use. On the Necro, however, I feel like I have a lot more options in terms of overall variety in terms of skills. I have 4 skill slots. And honestly, when I first started the class, I put 3 skills on my bar, and then I realized, wait a second, I have a 4th skill that I can change here. That's super strange. So that's something that I've actually enjoyed. I do feel like I have a little bit more variety in terms of skill choices, which is a nice thing to have. And look at that. Looks like I got a legendary here. But overall, the reason why those skills are always on the bar is because they're such amazing skills, some of the most impactful skills in the entire game, and they are heavily focused on movement speed. Draw and Quarter gives you 60% movement speed for a huge duration. Teleport's going to give you that teleport, whereas Necromancer doesn't really have that option. They have Wraith Form, which does make you a little bit faster, but it's a small movement speed for not a long time. You can see here, or to put Wraith Form on, it's a 9.4 second cooldown first off. I gain 50% movement speed and for 2 seconds. If I just quit this right now, you can see, oh wow, look at that, 2 seconds of movement speed. That's not even close. That's less than a third of what the Crusader is getting generally if you get a little bit of extra beneficial effect duration, which you oftentimes will run. I guess on Necro you could do that as well. But on the Wizard, you had 3 charges of teleport, which had about the same cooldown as Wraith Form. So the amount of distance I can cover in Wraith Form, the extra distance, is 1 teleport from the Wizard. So I just don't even run this generally in PvE. One other thing is I don't really have a ton of legendary items on Necro, and I will note that I'm sure it'll be more fun when I do get those legendary items. You can see here, I've been farming a decent amount, but I've been really unlucky in terms of legendaries I've gotten. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 helmets, and then and shoulder pieces, which I think I just got a new one. We'll have to see. And then I got 3 here. And then for chest pieces, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm missing the new one. One of the most important one, Exhuman's Backbone and Inviting Tomb. And then for pants, I am missing quite a few as well, although I'm going to be getting one of these probably, I think I can get guided by magnets from the battle pass, so I'll be doing that. Look at my main hands, though. I've just been getting main hand after main hand after main hand, and this is what I've gotten unlucky. You can see offhands, I have one of the least amounts. So really unlucky in terms of getting the specific legendary items that I need so far. I've farmed probably about, I want to say 10 hours over the course of the last day or so. So definitely a lot of farming. We're going to go do some more gambling here. And overall, just not a huge fan of the overall playstyle. And it looks like that one probably is a new one I think I don't have. But I'm just not a fan of the, another helmet that I already have. The slow playstyle of the Necro is really what's getting to me. And another grub knife, unlucky. But again, we'll see how it goes. I'm excited about using a huge summon build because for those of you that don't know, I have almost every set item in the entire game. Right now I was testing out Grace of the Flagellant. I'll be doing videos on all of these different sets, but I really want to get my last pieces of Shepherd set because, well, let's just see here. I have quite a few of them. But I am missing the full Shepherd set, and I would like to get the Frenzied State. I want to compare the 4-piece version versus the 6-piece version and see how impactful the 6-piece version is when we're talking about longer fights or even just a shorter duration. I think that that can be an insane piece of gear. So really excited to see that. Overall, just excited about the overall testing of the Wizard for the set items. That's something that I'm particularly excited about, but not for the playstyle. We're going to be doing some PvP videos soon. I know that by the time this video comes out, I probably would have done some PvP videos. If not right after this one, I probably will have. But we'll see. I really don't want to enter PvP without Bone Pillar. I want to test it with Bone Pillar because I don't really have a crazy amount of legendary items right now. And it is nice to have the reservist pieces kind of really being able to inherit on them. But overall, I've been relatively decently lucky because I've gotten upgrades for almost half my slots so far, which for the Wizard it took much longer. So that is something nice to think about. Overall, not a huge fan of the Wizards or the Necromancer so far. I hope it gets a little bit more fun. You can see here I have gotten dupes across the board so far, except for this pants that I just gambled away and the legendaries I found. So we'll see. I'm going to be continuing to farm. I'm going to be continuing to grab every legendary item in the game if I can. And then I don't think any creator out there has tested all of the new Necro legendary items. So for example, like I don't know if people have tested Abnegation or if they've tested Ethereal Boundary or if they've tested Empty Pit or Thrash Joss, anything like that. I'm not sure if anyone's tested those, but I was hoping to test them. The Drifter's Fair here, the Bone Spears with a powerful skull, seems very interesting. If I were to just inherit it real quick and then just showcase it, I think that could be very fun for some sort of full damage PvP build. Because if you look at what this looks like, I think it's the most funny skill in the entire game. Like, these skulls just drift away or just follow players. It's freaking hilarious. I absolutely love this legendary item. So I hope to get use out of these ones. They're very funny. I think there could be some fun builds, but overall, just the fact that I can't move. Mobility is a huge thing for me, and that is one thing that super turns me off from this class. So I do think it's a strong class so far. I haven't had a crazy amount of experience, but I wanted to let you know how my Necromancer experience is going so far. Hopefully by the time this video comes out, which will be probably about a day or maybe 2, depending on how I upload. When that video comes out, I should have had more legendary items, and so I'll update with you a little bit after that. But really solid class so far. The damage is a little lacking without legendary items, and I think that's the key thing that I'm missing. I hope to get those soon so I can start farming some dungeons, and we'll see what my experience is with PvE versus the Wizard. But that being said, I'm going to head back to open world farming. Hopefully you enjoyed. Let me know what you think about the Necro, and if you think I'm being a little unfair. Again, I guess it's my opinion on how fun it is, so you know, I guess I can't really be too unfair there, but it is what it is. There you go. Hopefully you enjoyed, and I will see you for the next video.